Hello and welcome everyone. At the onset, let me wish all of you a very, very, very happy new year. Let's say a blessed new year. It is going to be a year when all of us are going to achieve something special in our life. Because yes, it is a lucky 7 year, and I'm not actually doing an oracle card reading as we have been putting up the messages on our social media, but I will be doing a little bit of numerology. Okay, I'm going to talk about it a little later, and you will understand where your focus should be throughout this entire year. What are the energies that are going to help you? What is it that you should look out for, not to get waylaid on your path of life? But before that, there's something very special I would like to tell you all about, and that is that Healing Touch has come up with a calendar. Now, obviously, calendars are easily available, but there is something very special in this calendar. First of all, there is an affirmation that I have put up for each month and a positive saying. So in case you're going through some particular challenge, something which is very rough and which is very, difficult for you to handle, you probably need to just read the affirmation again for that particular month and again read the saying, because that will give you a positive impetus about how to face the challenges that you are facing during that month. Now besides this, all the important celestial events that happen during the month, let's say full moon, new moon, maybe a conjunct, maybe solstice, equinoxes, whatever it may be, eclipse, all that has been highlighted on the page of the month, and a short video of how that celestial event impacts us as humans will be put up on my social media pages, Healing Touch by AniTara. So obviously, the previous day you can go into my social media and read and actually see the video, and you will understand what implications it has for you during that particular day. So you are sort of prepared beforehand about maybe this can happen, so let me just get ready. So there's a lot that I have put into this calendar, and calendar will be ready for sale from tomorrow when I have the Science Sunday at my place, and we will be launching it at that time. It is available in two forms. One is, of course, the hard copy, the physical calendar. For all those who live in India, we will courier it to wherever you are in India, and it is also available virtually, so that once you get the calendar virtually, what you could probably do is that particular month, the calendar for that month can be saved as your screensaver on your laptop or your phone, so that every time you need to get some positive vibes, some positive energy, you can just read the saying that is written there in the affirmation, and that will help you actually get through the entire month. So we're really excited about this calendar, and as we said, we're going to be launching it tomorrow during the Science Sunday that I have at home. Now, what is it that I am going to be talking about today? Like I told you, I'm doing something very different, and this is a base of numerology. I teach numerology, I use numerology in a lot of things in my life, my family, even other people, if they want, what name should we put, what we should do. Of course, we always refer back to numerology to find out whether that energy vibes well with the person's energy. So numerology is a beautiful, beautiful science, and I will be taking a class pretty soon on numerology, because I know many people want to do this class. We will inform you about the class soon. But today what I'm going to do is take you through a very simple base, a simple form of numerology, because this is the beginning, this is the first week of the entire year. So you should know what your personal number is, what is the universal number, how you can take advantage of all the energies that are there for you during this entire year. Now, let's talk about 2023. We call it the Universal 7 year. Why? Because if you add up 2023, it comes to a 7. So this entire year is the Universal 7 year. Now, Universal 7, let's take for example 2022, which was a 6 universal year. Now 6 universal year always means that it is about establishing new connections, solidifying all connections that you already have, maybe in relationships, in your business, in your scope of work and everything. And so 2022 was actually really getting your groundings right, let's say. stabilizing, solidifying your groundings, 2022. And yes, there was a lot of revelation that we all went through during 2022 about what is it that we really want to go ahead with, what are the things that we need to take out from our life, all of that, because that was the universal year 6, which is about stabilizing, which is about grounding your entire life. Now, as I said, 2023 is a 7 universal year. Most of us always know lucky 7. We always call it lucky 7. And why do we call it lucky 7? Because 7 brings a very positive impetus in everyone's life. All right. This is also, number 7 is also the time when we are actually, we are told to take more care of ourselves. So last year when you were still solidifying everything, your base, now coming to a 7 universal year, basically what we have to do is now work more on ourselves, because this is the year when you will be intuitively guided or get answers from within you about what is the right path to take, what you should go ahead with, what you should, not look at or delete, let's say, from your life. So this is that. Now, it means that a new you is developing throughout this entire year. Remember one thing, my dear friends, this happens very gradually. It doesn't happen immediately, but that's fine, right? Sometimes, it's like we need to test the waters. We need to really be sure if that's where we want to go before we jump in. But this entire does come, let's say, with unlimited possibilities. So, like I said, this energy for the entire year is for us to turn inwards. Take a look at ourselves. We are in the process of accomplishing our goals, and some goals that probably we started maybe last year or a couple of years back, we are now with the Universal 7, we are going to be accomplishing those goals. Some may still not be very sure about what their goals are, so probably you are still figuring it out, but trust me, before the end of this year, you would know what it is that you really have come to do, let's say, in this life. What is your soul purpose? What is your divine purpose? What is the path that you have to take going ahead? Trust me, by the end of this year, all of us would definitely know that. This year, we will also recognize the hidden potentials that we come with and, bring those potentials up in the open. So by the end of this year, we actually become the best versions of ourselves, because now we know what our strengths are, what are our weaknesses. We need to delete the weaknesses, let go of our weaknesses, focus more on our strengths, so that by the end of this year, we know who and what we are capable of. Correct? Now, when you look at from another perspective, you look at the highest ideal of sacred number 7, it symbolizes the mystic. It symbolizes the Merlin or the wise sage. Now, in the path of mysticism, this number 7 forewarns you to start exploring the internal essence of your own beingness. Okay? Now, within this, when you start exploring your internal essence, you will uncover what we call your soul calling, your mission in life. Like I said, maybe you'll even recognize what is your divine purpose, right? Now, if you look at the tarot deck, the Rider-Waite original tarot deck, and if you look at the major arcanas, number 7 is the Chariot. Now, all those who know tarot or have even looked at a tarot card, and if you haven't, just go look at the 7 number of the major arcana. It is the Chariot. So you have, horses, and you have the Chariot, and there is this person, which is you, who's standing holding both the reins. Now, if you look at the horses very, very carefully, some may be black, some may be white. That means by now you have understood how to garner all the energies together, how to overcome whatever challenges that are coming in front of you, how to gain victory through maintaining control of your surroundings. So by the time you come to number 7, you are pretty sure that you have your life reins in your hands and you can move the chariot at whatever speed you want to, whichever direction that you want to. So of course it is a very, very beneficial number, or a very beneficial card if you're doing the tarot layout to come, in your spread. That means at the end of it, you are going to emerge victorious. And that is the reason why number 7 is always said to be a very lucky number. We also know that, we've heard, let's say, that God created the world in 6 days. And on the 7th day, he rested and looked back at what he had created. And that is why we have 7 planets, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 days of the week, 7 musical notes. So 7, by and large, is a very, very positive number. Now, you have understood, there's one more very important thing that I need to tell you. That means 2023 also launches the second 10-year cycle of global activation since 2012. Let me explain it in brief to you. So in 2012, we as humans, at that time it was like maybe the world is going to come to an end, and there was a lot of this thing going on because the Mayan calendar got over at 2012, and we were very unsure whether Earth is going to survive or whether it's going to be submerged underwater. But of course we did survive. We've come up to 2023. So the first 10 years from 2012 to 2022 was the first cycle of global activation, where everything was under review, right? So now the energy, that the change that has happened in the past 10 years, and actually if you look back, you all will say, yes, this is what has happened. The change that is happening globally is that we are now moving away from power control. We are not continuing to patronize hierarchical, let's say, pyramidal kind of a society or authoritative rule, because now everyone has started asking questions and everyone has started trying to seek answers for themselves, and they don't just, there isn't one pyramid where there is one person at the apex and everyone just follows the apex. No, like I have explained in my previous meditations and my previous talks, we are moving into a circular system right now. So the hierarchical, authoritative, or let us say the patriarchal system has actually collapsed in the past 10 years, which was the first cycle, the first 10-year cycle. Now, the number 7 will always, the year that we are in today, the universal year that we are in now, will emphasize all that which is no longer acceptable by us as humans. Now, the divine plan was to bring down the construct that was there before 2012. The construct of the hierarchical system, authoritative system, patriarchal system. So the divine plan was that in the first cycle of 10 years, we were, as humanity, were made to, let's say, bring down that construct. Now, the next 10-year phase, because I have mentioned this before, that the first wave of 7% of humanity will be shifting into the 5th dimension somewhere around 2032. Right? So now, the year that we are in, 2023 to 2032, which is the next cycle of 10 years, what we have to do is that we all actively co-create plans for the new golden age. This is the first year that we are going to start doing that. And of course, all of us have seen the number of changes that have happened globally, all over, right? So this is, now we are entering the second cycle, which is, actually both the cycles are very important, because you have to break something to recreate something new. It's like, like Lord Shiva, he destructs to create, right? So the destruction part has happened from 2012 to 2022, and now from 2023 to 2032 is when we are going to recreate, co-create the golden era. We're coming now closer to the 5th dimension. So we all become co-creators. Please remember, many times people tell me, but how can, even if I change my thought, even if I become positive, even if I change my lifestyle, how can I actually make a difference? Remember, every drop makes a difference in the ocean of life. So as we change our thinking to making it more positive, it ripples out to the other people. And when it touches other people, everyone starts thinking more positively, more towards growth, more towards the new era. So every drop counts. So we all humans become co-creators of the new divine earth. That is going to come up around 2032, the fifth dimension. Okay, so now coming back to the main topic that we have for today, we are now going to understand what our personal number is. I have told you it is universal 7, right? Personal number. Now, why is these personal numbers very important to us? Because they determine how our life will unfold. It is, let's say, a kind of a reflection of the overall energy flow throughout your life for that particular year. Now, how do you calculate your personal year? Very simple. You just have to think of your, calculate your date of birth with your month. And year will be 7, because this is 2023, which is coming to a 7. So your date of birth, your month, and add it to a 7. Very simple. When you add up everything, you bring it down to a single digit. Understand that in numerology, we only calculate from 1 to 9, right? 11 and 22 are master numbers. I'm not going to be talking about that now because that goes deeper into numerology. But by and large, what you need to remember is number 1 to number 9. So when you come to a 10, it comes back to a 1. When you come to 11, it comes back to a 2. When it comes to 13, it comes back to 3. It's the same way, but you only remember 1 to 9, right? So we're going to find out where we are from the numbers 1 to 9. So I want all of you to actually start calculating your personal number. Let's take, for example, if someone who's born on 13th of March, what will be the calculation? 13 will come down to a 4. March is number 3. And the year, I said, is number 7. So you have to add up 4 plus 3 plus 7, which comes to a 14, bring it down to a single digit, which comes to a 5. So this person born on the 13th of March, their personal number is 5. And I will be telling you about each personal number from 1 to 9. Remember that. So very quickly, calculate your personal number. Of course, my video is going to be there on my Insta page of Healing Touch by AniTara. You can always refer back for other members of your family and anyone else that you want to find out for the personal number for and what it signifies for them. Right? Simple calculation, date of birth, month, year will be 7, not the year that you were born. It will be number 7 because you're trying to find out for this year, the universal year 7. Right? So just calculate all, add up everything and bring it down to a single digit. The single digit, of course, will be between 1 and 9. Correct? Very simple. Now let's start talking about the 9 numbers that each of us will be, the energy of that number that we will be holding throughout the year. What is it that we really need to focus on going ahead for this year of 2023. And that's why I decided to do this in the first week of January, in the first week of 2023, because then at least you know what it is by the end of the year, what it is that you have to achieve, or what is it that you need to focus on for this year. So now, if you have come to a personal number 1. Now, when I teach numerology, I try to make it very, very simple. So I give graphic examples of the numbers also, and I will be telling you all about it. Now, if you look at the number 1, it is standalone. It's just one single line. But the problem with that single line is it can actually, because it doesn't have a base, it can actually, keep swinging from one end to the other. But number 1 is a single line. So, number 1, if you, again, like I told you, we calculate from 1 to 9. So when you come, like in the sun signs, I always say that Aries is the first sign and Pisces is the last sign. So if you come to a Pisces, if you're born with a sun sign of Pisces, that means you're completing some particular part of whatever you had started for many lifetimes before. Or if you come in an Aries birth, that means you're going to initiate something very new, a new cycle of your existence. So same way, number 1 is a year of new beginnings. Now, understand one thing, that number one people are extremely lucky, especially coming in a 7 universal year. Why? Because number one is an impetus. It is you're rebirthing something new. You are going to start something new. You are going to, the number one, the way I give it is that you planted a seed and now the shoot wants to come up. So it will break through whatever challenges are there or whatever hardships are there. But this seed now is going to sprout. So it's going to break through and come up. So number one is extremely lucky, especially as I said in a 7 universal year. So this year is a year for all personal number ones to start a new chapter of your life. Because you've just finished with a 9. That means 2022 would have been a 9 personal year for you. For all those who have come with a 1 in this year, right? So you've just finished with a 9. That means you finished one particular cycle, one particular whatever you had decided. Now you're going to start a new chapter of your life. What happens when you're starting a new chapter? That means a lot of doors open up for you with new beginnings. Suddenly there will be a lot of ideas, and maybe they must have started coming somewhere in November, December of 2022. A lot of new ideas start coming in your mind that probably I can even do this, I can get into this, maybe this is the way I'm running my business, but I can do this. A lot of ideas, not only where your career is concerned, but even in your personal life, maybe even in your home. So a lot of new things that you will initiate, that you will propagate, that you will, come up with during this year of 2023. The goal of the first, coming with the personal number one, is to start a cycle that will take you for the next 9 years. Right? Till you come to a 9, where you're actually going to complete what you began in 2023. And it is a time, of course, for you to start again, to put yourself, this is also the time when you actually start putting yourself first. And you're not being selfish in that, right? Because now you are trying to reinvent yourself. You're trying to sort of reevaluate yourself. So obviously you're going to give priority to yourself also. And what you need to focus on is that you need to pursue your goals with a lot of happiness. There definitely will be a lot of zest and vigor in you to start, to move ahead with whatever new that you're going to start now. It may be a new job, it may be that you meet new people who will actually impact your life. So, now, because we are in January, we are in the beginning of this year, number one personal number, I would request you very strongly to actually, there may be a lot of thoughts in your mind, there may be a lot of ideas that are already there in your mind, but then maybe you did not have the zest, or you did not have the enthusiasm, or you were afraid whether it will really work or it will not work, whether whatever you knew you initiate, whether it will be successful or whether you will fall flat in your face. If there is anything that is there in your mind that you need to begin, that as an idea it is still mulling around in your mind, my advice to you would be surge ahead. Just start right now, the beginning of the year, because by the end of the year you're definitely going to be very successful. So number one, remember, this is a very, very lucky year for you, coming with a 7 universal year. Fabulous number one. So please move ahead with whatever ideas that you have in your mind. Now, coming to a personal number 2. Like I said, 1 is singular. Now with 2 pillars, right? Yin yang, alpha omega. So now there are 2 pillars because this is number 2. The year personal number 2 is a year to focus on relationships, because now you're not alone. There is another beingness with you. There is another energy that has come in with you because you're number 2. So 2023 is when you step back from your independent adventures and check in with others before rushing out in any direction, whichever direction that you want to rush out to, because now you have to consider that you have to involve other people also, because you're not alone. There is another energy that is working with you, because now you are in a personal 2 number. This is the year for you to keep building on relationships, and you will have plenty of opportunities to deepen friendships that may have been neglected over the past few years. right? Maybe you were busy doing other things and all, but now is the time when you can, sort of bring up, sort of strengthen the relationships, friendships that you have had in your previous years. You also may find some mentor, you may find some teachers, some friends who come your way to help you with whatever you want to do in your life. So remember, number 2, not alone. Number 1, yes, alone, because priority has to be you yourself. But with the number 2, there is another energy involved. So don't try to do things on your own. If you are stuck in any challenge, if you are stuck in any situation, always reach out and ask for help. The help can come from a friend, from a family member, a teacher, a mentor, but you need another energy coming in, because this is your personal number 2 for this year, right? So focus on that. Don't try to think that I know it all. I know I can handle everything on my own. Don't. A number 1 can do that, but not number 2. Number 2, if you want to achieve success, take help from others outside of you, and then you will reach your goal, right? If you are looking out to getting married, if you are looking out for a romantic relationship, or also if you're already married or already in love with someone, this actually is a beautiful year to enhance the love that you already have, right? Just remember, number 2, one more extra energy is coming in with you. So look out for others too. When you're moving on your path, look out, take care of others too. Let's see what personal year 3 stands for. Now 3, the simple example that I give, 3 is Trinity. It's Father, Mother, God, because it's 3. It's like the triangle. So now from a 2, you are actually coming to forming a triangle. Yes, this way. So now you're coming to a triangle. All right. So this is a year for you to create and live your time, right? You have the wisdom to share. You probably have a story to tell. And this is the year for you to think about ways you can offer it to the world. Right? So now you're not singular 1, you're not double where you're looking for help from outside, but now you're the triangle. That means there is enough and more knowledge within you. There is enough and more, let us say, understanding inside of you. And now you need to share it with other people. Not only from your family, not only from your friends, not only with your work colleagues or something, but you need to share it out into the world. Right? Like I said, everyone has a story to tell, especially if you've come with a personal number 3. Now, this is the year when you have to go out and about, meet people, explore new ideas that probably you've never considered before. As this is the year for you to actually explore new territories and innovate. So there may be some changes that you will bring into your life, but it will not happen until and unless you interact with people outside of you. Let's say even outside your circle, your comfort zone. You need to now move out. Meet new people, form new friendships, explore new ideas, think of new innovative things that you want to do. Because whatever you start, of course, in this year, it will continue for the next 6-7 years. So obviously this is the time for you to begin, to start, but it will be outside your comfort zone. So this is not the year for a personal number 3 to be a wallflower. You actually have to come into the center of attention, right? Because you have to interact with so many people outside of you. And when you do that, when you start feeling a part of the greater whole, it will bring a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Because this year, for a personal number 3, the main theme, the main focus is creative successes. So you need to really go out. Explore new territories, like I have said. Innovate. Do something new. But reach out to people. Sit, talk to other people. Find out what it is that you can bring what is it that you can actually bring out to humanity? Correct? So that's a personal year number 3. Now let's go to a personal year number 4. Now, when, if I'm giving you graphical interpretations, now when you think of a 4, what is it? A square, right? You're now boxed. This is a square. So now you have 4, like a rectangle or a square or whatever, but you are boxed, right? So now the 4 beams are spirit, soul, mind, and body. So this is when you integrate everything that you have learned up until now with other numbers that were ruling you during the other years. Now you need to box it. This is a year to secure yourself. Because when you come into a box, you're actually securing yourself. You're not leaving any loose ends open. You're now putting yourself in a box. Okay? So this is the year for you, personal year number 4. If you come with a 4, it is for you to get disciplined. It is a year for you to get organized, to start putting everything in its place. Let's say going back to your fundamentals. You cannot keep any loose ends open. Remember, this is a square now. You are in the box, right? So you need to work within the box. So what are you going to do within the box? Get more disciplined, sieve out whatever it is that you don't want, but completely, go back to your fundamentals and organize your life. Very, very important for you, number 4, to organize your life this year. Maybe you will struggle to get what you think you deserve. But remember one thing, without making an effort, nothing will come to you. The good part is that even if you put in a little effort, the rewards will be tremendous. So don't think that because, this is a personal year 4, don't think that things are going to come very easily to you, that you need to just sit back, you've worked a lot, you've done everything that you had to do, and now is the time for you to relax. No. Whatever effort you put into your life right now, you will be tremendously rewarded. Right? So this is the time to really, really focus on grounding your energies first of all, because you need to, understand this is the boundaries you're creating for yourself. Obviously, the first thing you need to do is ground your energies and focus on staying rooted in the present situation. Now, this is a very important line for you, personal number 4, is that now you don't need to think about that happened then that person behaved like with me 2 years back in this way, that event happened, in the past. Forget it. Because you've come with a personal year 4, you need to focus in the now, in the present. And you can only do that when you're very grounded and rooted. So when you are very grounded, you'll say, okay, this is what I have around me. Let me see what best I can do with it. Right? So very, very important for number 4 to first root and ground themselves. Right? Now this, like I said, 2023 is a year for you to build up yourself into who you want to be and getting yourself to where you want to desire. So understand one thing, for you, very important, get your fundamentals right, clear out everything that is not necessary for you. Now, in the current moment, in the current situation of the now, focus on what is it that is important in the now. Don't look at the past. Don't even think about the future. Because if you set your grounding very strong, if you create a very strong fundamental base for your life, in 2023, success is obviously going to follow. Because your grounding, your groundwork has been done very clearly. Right? So this is an important time for you to set, let us say, your foundation for creating a beautiful life ahead of you. Let's see what personal year number 5 stands for. Now, 5 basically, I always say it is the number of expansion. Now, you had the square in 4. In 5, what do? You shoot out, like the roof, let's say, of the 4, you are now shooting out. So what if it is a square, you're still stuck in that boundary. You're still stuck in the square. Now with 5, you're shooting out. So expansion. You're going somewhere ahead. So number 5, we call it the year of transformation. Let me explain why. This, because I said now you're shooting out. So now you're going to start, let's say, exploring a new, a new way of being for yourself. You're now not going to get stuck in the box. You're not going to stay in the box. You've already done that last year. Now is the year when you start liberating yourself, transforming yourself. And how does the transformation come? Of course, with a lot of changes to get you to the place where you are supposed to be. So number 5, whenever we look at number 5 in numerology, we say change. 5 always denotes change. I call it 5 denotes transformation. Right? Because now you are going to move out, let's say, of your boundary, of your comfort zone, and you're going to look at something new, something different. So throughout the year, it is very reasonable to say that throughout the year, things will change significantly for you. And you will have to make adjustments and investigate all your possibilities, all that you can think of. As new things come in front of you, as new ideas come in front of you, as, let's say, new doors open up for you, you will have to move out of your comfort zone and think of all the possibilities that you can now bring into your life. Important point for personal number 5 to remember is to accept the changes that are coming. Extremely important. You have to accept all the changes that are coming your way in 2023, personally and professionally. Right? The universe, understand why those changes are coming? Because the universe is guiding you to make sure, to ensure that you reach your rightful position in your life by the end of this year. Again, I said, both internally, externally, personal life, professional life, every which way. Right? So the only thing a personal year number 5 and a personal number 5 needs to focus on is not to come into fear when there are a lot of shifting and changes happening around you. But accept those changes, because it's going to take you to a much more beautiful place by the end of the year. Correct? I hope you understand and remember that very clearly, number 5. When you come to a personal year 6, now, as I said, 5 is expansion. 6, the symbolization that I give for number 6 is the Star of David. Right? So it's 2 3-pointed stars which are inverted. That's the Star of David. So this is a year for being a team player. I also call it, this is the year to harmonize and balance your life. Now, when we talk about the Star of David, so there is one triangle like this, and there's another triangle like this, which forms the Star of David. That means yin and yang are merging together. Alpha, omega are merging together. Right? So this is the year of harmonizing, balancing your energies. Now, according to me, the ashes of the past will finally come to rest for all personal 6 this year. All the changes that you went through last year, last year, because you would have been a 5 last year, so a lot of changes would have come in front of you throughout the year, a lot of transformation, new things coming in your life because you were a 5 last year. Remember, now you're coming to a 6. That means all the ashes of the past year, which led you to new circumstances, have made it possible for you to establish new roots. This is the year for you to solidify your relationships and fully integrate yourself into your life. So 2023 will bring opportunities to soften all the heartaches that you went through in the last year, to release all the pent up emotions that have actually left you feeling very burdened or heavy. So now in 2023, you will be releasing all those heavy pent up emotions, all the ashes of everything that you went through as you incorporated the change that came into you with the 5 personal year, which was last year for you. So with the 6, because you're coming into balance, you're coming into harmony, you will release now all your negativities and you will come to a most beautiful balance before the end of this year. Actually, you don't even have to wait for the end of this year. It can be in the first few months that you can come into harmony, right? Now, this year is, and remember this very importantly, this year for a personal 6 is to focus or think of us, not me. Remember, it is harmony, it is balance. Remember the Star of David? Right? 2 inverted triangles merging into each other, which forms the Star of David. So this is not the year to think of me, what I want to do, what I want to achieve, where I want to go. No, this is the year to think of us. So the focus for all personal 6 will be on family, home, responsibilities, but shared responsibilities. Because now number 6 has to work in harmonizing all the negative emotions that actually happened because last year was number 5 for you. So obviously you went through a catharsis, let's say, last year, right? So now is the time to clear out all those ashes and come into perfect balance and harmony. So focus for you is going to be family, responsibilities, and your home. Now let's look at a personal year 7. Of course, this is also a universal year 7. When I give an example of what 7 is, I say it is a combination. It is the perfection of the square, which is 4, and the trinity, which is 3. So when you think of making a home, you ask a child to draw a home. What will they draw? First a square and then the roof. That's 7. It's the combination of the square and the trinity, which creates the 7. So this number 7, for you, this is a year to examine yourself. This is a year about reflecting and improving your spiritual self-awareness. With all the changes that you will go through emotionally. So maybe you'll go through a lot of turmoil emotionally, but that's not a bad thing for you, personal 7. Don't take it as something bad. This is very good for you because now you are connecting to your inner beingness. You are now connecting to your spiritual soul self. This will also be a year of friendship, romantic relationships, beautiful, let us say, networking at your workplace, within your home, or even in your own soul. More than ever, number 7, you are going to realize that everyone you encounter on your life's journey is simply a mirror reflecting back whatever is going on inside of you. This is a year when you will actually realize that for yourself. So what do? Of course, as you go throughout the year, there will be a lot of aha moments. When you actually start to understand why you act the way you do. Mark my words, number 7. There will be a lot of aha moments when you will come to recognizing, oh, that's why I behave in that manner. That is why I react in this particular situation, in this way, or whatever it may be. Because there's going to be a lot of, let's say, self-awareness that's going to come into you, number 7. You also may find yourself teaming up with someone that helps you push you further in your career. Or you could also be making a deeper commitment to someone you love. But remember, like I said, number 1, it is this is going to be a very lucky year for all who are personal number 1, because you are coming with the 7 universal year. The same way, number 7, because this is a number 7 universal year, of course, you will probably go through a lot of sifting in your own life. But you will finally come to recognizing who you are and what are you made up of. What are your triggers? What is it that you really need to work with? Because every person every situation, every challenge that you go through, remember one thing: they are only a mirror. They are only mirroring that what is inside of you. So what do you need to do? Instead of trying to change the others, trying to change the circumstance, trying to change other people, make the change inside of you. And when you start making the change inside of you, automatically the reflection changes in the mirror. So then you come into a beautiful life by the end of this year. Correct? And you are in the universal 7 years, so obviously a lot of luck will be with you this year. Now when we come to a personal year 8, this is, when we talk about personal 8, we say this is a year to demonstrate your fortitude. What are you actually made up of? I mean, what is the inner strength that is there in you? So number 8, I always call it a number of manifestation. Now, when I give a pictorial interpretation of number 8, it is of course a sign of infinity. Correct? So infinity is like this, 8 is like this. It is the sign of infinity. Now, 8 number is also known as a karmic number. It is also known as a number of Saturn, or in Indian astrology, we say Shani. Now, whenever you talk about Saturn or Shani, normally people tend to come into fear. Oh, what's going to happen? Saturn is very, very, malefic in my chart right now, or I am under the Sarasati of Shani. My advice to everyone who comes with an 8 is not to fear Saturn. In fact, make it your Lord. Saturn, because it is the karmic number, it gives you the toughest lessons. It brings in front of you the toughest lessons. But understand that once you go through those tough lessons, you emerge victorious. And then nothing can pull you down. Because in going through those tough lessons or challenges, you're actually finding yourself. You're finding out the inner strength that you have. Correct? So how can it be a wrong number? How can it be a number that should scare you? In fact, you used to say, bring it on. I need to find out for myself what I am made up of. And I'm going to go through all the challenges. Because I know Lord Shani, Lord Saturn is going to help me. Make me learn my lessons so that I come into a positive part of my life, of my existence. Right? So 2023 is going to bring a lot of opportunities for you to transform yourself. Let's say to awaken. Right? You will notice that you are scaling new peaks and establishing your authority in brand new ventures. Now, understand, when I talk about the infinity symbol, now, let me take it, horizontally, not vertically. So when I take it horizontally, number 8, so there is always a time when we have a downward spiral. And then this is, when we are going through the downward spiral is when we are going through our challenges. But after overcoming the challenges, where do we come? The upward spiral. Right? Upward spiral till again we come to another downward spiral. So when you have come with the personal number 8, it means there's going to be a lot of transformation for you, because now you're going into the upward spiral of positive growth. Maybe there are still some lessons you need to learn. Maybe there is still some challenges that you need to go through or understand in the deeper context, but you definitely will go on the upward spiral once you have learned your lessons. You already may have achieved a lot of success, but now there are new options which will be available for you to grow into a much better version of yourself. It's like revamping yourself, re-identifying yourself. What you are made up of, what is there inside of you. All right. So now life, of course, will probably bring you into the spotlight where everyone can see what you are doing. So you will be, because now you've come with a karmic 8 number. 8 is an extremely powerful number. Right? So number 8, like I said previously, is all about balance. It is all about karma. If you did your best in the past 7 years, when you started from a 1, came till the 7, this year you're in 8. If you did your best, what you thought was your best, as per the energies that were there inside of you, please rest assured, high gains are coming your way this year. So get ready for it. But remember, if you are going through some challenges in this year, don't let it pull you down. Challenges was only one aspect. Once you overcome those challenges, you will go to the upward swing. So whenever you're in the downward challenge, ask your higher soul self, ask your masters, ask Lord Shani, Lord Saturn to come and help you. Learn whatever lesson you have to learn while you're going through the downward spiral so that you come into the upward swing. Correct? Last. Now we come to the personal number 9. Personal number, like I said, number 1 is the beginning. 9 is the time to tie up all loose ends. That means whatever you began 8 years back, you're now in this year, 2023, because you've come with the personal number 9, you are now going to complete and tie up all your loose ends. One word for personal 9 is universal love. This is the final year of your 9-year cycle. So 2023 will signify an ending phase of you and a time when you are closing off aspects of your life that no longer hold any importance to you or that no longer serve you. So you will be, doing a lot of sieving where you're just letting go of maybe projects that you started which are not really moving in the right direction, relationships that are not really helping you or, building you up positively, but relationships that are pulling you down or tying you down. So you're going to sort of cut off all that now from your life. Everything that doesn't serve you, you're just going to let it go away from your life because you've come to an end of a cycle. Now, my advice would be to take a proactive approach to letting go. Let go whatever is not needed in your life. Don't hold on to it. Because then you're actually delaying, let's say, the success that has to come to you. So just let go what you need to. It could be long-standing beliefs. It could be traditional values. It could be relationships. It could be anything. But if you have come with a 9 personal year, this is the time to let go. Why do we let go? Because we have to declutter in order to fill your life with new beginnings next year. Because in 2022 or 2024, you will come to a personal 1. Personal 1 would be that you're going to start something new. You're going to now come into something different, right? So this year, you need to declutter your life. Release, let go. Just get everything out of your life, which you feel is not helping you in any which way. Because the more you declutter, when you come to a 1 next year in 2024, you can actually absorb a lot more of new energies coming into you. Because it will be another new cycle that you will begin next year. Right? Enjoy this year of culmination and completion. Also, you will get a lot of rewards because you've been through 9 years of one particular cycle. So you've done a lot of work, right? With 1, you began. With 2, you brought in someone to help you. With 3, it was the Trinity. So you're trying to attune your mind, body, soul. With 4, you went into the box. You overcame. With 5, you expanded yourself. With 6, now you are developing, the Star of David. So you harmonized, you balanced everything. With 7. So you've been through the whole gamut of 1 to 8. And now because you've come to a 9, the only thing you need to do is sit back, take all the rewards, but remember to declutter. That's, let's say, the main word for you for number 9. So I hope you all have clearly understood how to calculate your personal number for the year 2023, which is a 7 universal year. Basically, by and large, the feeling, the readings that I have been getting is that this year, for all of us, whatever number we have come with, is going to be a year where we will be moving very positively into new directions, into the path that we want to take going ahead. Yes, we will, all of us actually will be getting a lot of rewards for all the tough years that we went through in the first. I'm not talking only about last year, I'm talking about the first 10-year cycle. That means from 2012 to 2022, the tough 10-year cycle that we have been through, where actually ask yourself, all of us have actually been through the grind the past 10 years, right? So we finished the first 10-year cycle and we're beginning the next 10-year cycle, which is actually bringing the new earth into reality. So obviously from 2023 onwards, for all of us, things are going to get much better. They're going to, we're going to get a lot of rewards. But also remember, it all depends on how much effort we put into it. Right? So the more effort we put into changing our lives, into changing our thought processes, into changing our mind, into changing, all that we don't want to carry as a burden with us, the more we declutter, the more rewards will come to us. So have a fabulous 2023, a most beautiful year, lucky year, let's say, for all of us. And I will be meeting up again with you with another round of Oracle card reading beginning Feb. Enjoy the rest of the year. Namaste. And stay blessed always.